Previously on Toku Topics, I, Josh, got myself into a full bottle coma for months, and had finally awakened from it, and in that time, PowerRider did a video on Kyuranger vs. Jiroja. Now that I've awakened, it must be time to see what Build has to offer for its fourth quarter, so I can buy all those new full bottles.
Josh, you do know it's all on Premium Bandai, right?
Premium Bandai? So like, just a few movie stuff, right? It can't be all of it.
No, Josh, like the entire fourth quarter. This is Toku Topics.
So, if Build's fourth quarter is all Premium Bandai stuff, I guess we should talk about the first thing on that list, which is the Great Cross Dragon. So the Great Cross Dragon is an item that first popped up in Build episode 37, and was Cross took a Dragon Evil bottle and turned it into the Great Dragon Evil bottle, and then he put it in the Cross Dragon, and it turned into the Great Cross Dragon, and then he used that to become Great Cross Z. They like using great on this form because they want you to know how great it is, so you go spend all your great money on great Premium Bandai for the great price of a lot of money and a great release date of long after Build is over. So the Great Cross Dragon is a thing, and I think it looks pretty cool. I like the red accents on it, and of course evil bottles are pretty neat. Nothing will beat these full bottles, of course, but the evil bottles are pretty neat, so I will give Premium Bandai this one. But there is the fact that it's only ever used for like 2 to 3 episodes, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of its existence. But maybe that's because it wasn't only used in the show, because Premium Bandai had another trick up their sleeve, because it's Premium Bandai, so you know how they are. So, PowerRider, what's the next Premium Bandai item on the list?
Well, Josh, the next Premium Bandai item is the Grease Blizzard Knuckle, first showing up in episode 44. This is the knuckle that uses to stun Evil out of his black hole form, later appearing in episode 44, revealing that it was actually a power-up for Kazumi all the time. But because Kazumi got his hazard level up, it's going to kill him, but we already know what really happened.
Gets consumed by Dark Amigage.
Thus, because of Kazumi's burning passion, he gets a build driver somehow, and uses the Blizzard Knuckle to become Grease Blizzard. Honestly, I think this form is actually pretty cool, as it is basically a retooling of a Phoenix Robo, just remove all the Phoenix parts and just add Grease stuff. Now Josh, what else do you have in the Premium Bandai line of buildness?
So speaking of last minute power-ups like the Blizzard Knuckle or the Great Cross Dragon, good old Evil here gets another last minute power-up in the form of the Black Pandora panel with the 10 lost full bottles, costing $80 on Premium Bandai. Because not only is it the black panel and the 10 full bottles, it's also the white Pandora panel, which I don't have a clip of because it's barely been used. But these good old lost bottles, and they are just repaints of Gashapon and Candy Toy exclusive ones from before, but this time they're black and gold because that's premium colors. Just because Premium Bandai's logo is a black logo with gold text on it. So these literally are Premium Bandai full bottles, because that makes perfect sense. And of course, to get you to buy the set even more, the Cobra Lost full bottle, the black and gold version, not the one that Bloodstock uses earlier in the show, is used with the Great Cross Dragon, also sold on Premium Bandai, to create Kamen Rider Blood from the summer movie. You know, that one that you can't see yet because it won't be subbed until like March. That one. And yeah, that also comes out way after Build is over in like January of next year, when we're way into Geo, and you spent all your money on all those ride watches and premium ride watches, which is a topic for another video, I'm sure. Because Bandai will never stop. And I want them. I want all of them.
Speaking of movies that won't get subbed in like 20 something years or so, let's talk about the latest Premium Bandai item from Kamen Rider Build, the Cross Build King. This is a retooling of the Rabbit Tank Sparkling, and is the movie form for Geki Joban, Kamen Rider Build, Be the One. In which, I guess spoilers, it's not really spoilers, it was really obvious that this is a fusion form between Build and Cross. Accidentally. That's a spoiler. While the movie isn't subbed yet, the only context we know about this is that it uses the essence of the gold rabbit and the silver dragon, which they've barely explained in the show. They only say something about the hazard level of 7, but it's interesting. I really like this form. I don't know why people hate it. I love how messy it looks, and I don't know what to say. Josh, can you conclude this?
Why couldn't they have just been retail?
Thank you, Josh, for mentioning that. So, yeah, let's go over why exactly these items are not retail and what happened to Build's fourth quarter. So, as we guys know, the scans of the first quarter for Rider normally comes out in the second half of July, and then the second quarter comes out somewhere in October. It's not October yet, so I don't really remember. But after that, we just started getting random stuff. Like, in December, we got the scan of Genius that everyone complained about. And then, in February, we got the scan for Rabbit and Tank. And then eventually, we got our scans for third quarter, but we never got fourth quarter scans. So what I pieced together basically is that the 2 offshoot catalogs we got could be considered a part of the quarter form, but I want to categorize them as quarter 2.5. Because both of these catalogs had items that released around February and March, and as we know from quarter 2, it didn't have anything releasing in March. So in the first offshoot catalog, that contained the Pandora panels for Hokuto and Sato, and the full bottle set for Mahotsukai and Orange, because people already bought the candy toy ones and Bandai just wants their money. And then, as stated, the second one is all the stuff for Rabbit and Tank. So what I'll have to say, what took the place of quarter 4 would have to be the Rabbit and Tank catalog, because most of the time fourth quarters for Rider are normally small because it's mostly movie stuff, but the Rabbit and Tank catalog is also small, so I would say that one had to have taken the place of the fourth quarter, explaining why we don't have a proper fourth quarter for Build. Now going through each item and explaining why they are not retail. The Great Cross Dragon is obviously not retail because it's a repaint, and supposedly to Bandai, and I'm going to say this for all of them, they won't sell retail, and also because it will cause Bandai to make a short amount of them if they actually did release it. And also because the Great Cross Dragon is also used in the movie, so possibly they didn't want to release it too early, which is why they put it out on Premium Bandai. The Pandora panels, no one wants to buy them, so easy as that. They try to do everything in Premium Bandai about them. They didn't even put quotes in it, so again, no one wants to buy them. The Grease Blizzard Knuckle, I'll give it an exception on being Premium Bandai. Obviously, it showed up only 2 episodes, so, and also because again, they'll have to make a really low quantity of them if they want to sell them retail, and possibly the quality of it won't be as great. So obviously they have to put up 30 quotes of Atoya, so yeah. And last but not least, the cross build can. Now, this is the first time since decade that we haven't had movie toys released retail. Now, what I could get of why this is Premium Bandai is because it's using the Rabbit Tank sparkling mode and not a full bottle mold. Because if it was just literally 2 full bottles and if it was just a full bottle set, obviously they can release that because it's cheap and they can put up a lot of quantities of it. But because this is the Rabbit Tank sparkling mode, they can't do that because it requires electronics, and also it's a big toy. They can't do that. They have to do the small ones in order to release it retail. Now, this is just what I this is what I think. Obviously, they can put out a statement on their blog of why it's not retail, but what I think is just because it's not small and it's not cheap. So obviously they have to put it up on Premium Bandai, and to obviously put the price up, just put in quotes. Well, that's it, guys. Josh forgot to do his closure, so let me do that for him. So I don't have anything to say, so I'll just say it in his own form. So just just know this is PowerRider, and I'll leave you people. And here's Josh.
Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to ring that notification bell so you never miss a video from Toku Topics. Be sure to follow my Twitters, my personal at RiderRanger335, my YouTube at Toku Topics, and my Soto account at SotoFountain. Be sure to check out that Toku Toy Story News blog, link in the description. Link in the description below. And until next time.
Tokusatsu forever.
Toku Topics is not sponsored by Bandai, nor has any sponsors. Well, that's kind of awkward.